Namaskar. Hello and welcome to P Guru's channel. I'm your host Shriyaya. Joining me today is Colonel Mayank Chaube, and we're going to be talking about an interesting development. A lot of people are talking about this, but we are still awaiting some more details to confirm this. But there is a lot of suspicions going on. First, let's welcome Colonel Saab. Namaskar, see, how are you?
Namaskar, Shady. I am very fine. Thank you so much and wish you a very good morning from India. I think it's evening time there.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, it is evening time here. So let me set the context, viewers. Pakistan sold $4.5 billion worth of modified, enhanced JF-17s. What is the modification that they did? What is the enhancement they did? I'll come to that in just a moment. But they have sold 4.5 billion worth of these planes to a company called, or a part, we can say an organization called Libyan National Army. This is headed by a field marshal, nothing else. Field marshal to field marshal deal hui hai, sir ji. Saddam Khalifa Haftar. That's the name of this guy. He's about 82 years old, and they have sold 16 of these aircraft. Now, the interesting thing is, this is supposed to have been co-developed by Pakistan Aeronautical Complex and China's Chengdu Aircraft Corporation. Now, these two together, they have sold this to many countries: Myanmar, Nigeria, Azerbaijan. And now I wonder what exactly is the value add that Pakistan brings, because the avionics is China's, the missile is also China's, and the radar is also China's. So I wonder what exactly. So Colonel Saab will explain to us what exactly is the value add Pakistan is providing here. And this is not all. Okay, so these JF-17s have been sold. The interesting thing is, there is an incident that took place in United States. Noor Khan, remember the Noor Khan Air Base? That Noor Khan, his daughter, 75-year-old lady, she's a doctor, pediatrician in United States. Now, she dies in a car accident where they say that her car went and hit the divider. The interesting thing here is, there is more to it than meets the eye. I'm going to stop here because I've talked too much. I'll let Colonel Saab, our guest, take it from here. Tell me which map you want to load first, Ji. I'll be happy to do that.
The first map that I had put,
yes,
इसमें आपको छोटा सा red dot दिख रहा है.
Yeah.
Okay, so good morning, and what I'll do is, as per my going, I will start a chain stitch. And chain stitches, you take the stitch back and then you move ahead. So we'll go back to Libya. Now, how come Libya comes into play and why is Libya so important? So this is the location of Libya, the red dot that you see. It's sitting in the north of Africa, Mediterranean Sea के बगल में बैठा हुआ है. Now, the importance of Libya will be seen the moment we upload the second map, Sriji, in which you see a green and an orange dot here. So the green dot shows where Libya is. Above it is the Mediterranean Sea, the white color patch, and you see the orange color patch onto the top right. Now, this orange color patch is nothing but Turkey. So why is Turkey coming into picture? We'll discuss slightly later. So we go down to the third map that I have uploaded. Okay. Now, if you see this map, you can see a clear-cut division between two different parties. And Libya has been divided into two distinct groups. The right portion, we call it as East Libya, and the left is West Libya. And this map is of a very old vintage, 2011, if I'm not wrong. So this was a division when the Americans, they left and bombarded Libya and left Libya to fend for itself. So what happens is that things started going south, and how Libya turned, we'll go to the next map. I think it is 2015, the map which you're going to see now. Yeah. So you see a green colored patch, and the green colored patch is of the area which has been dominated by the Libyan National Army, LNA, headed by Field Marshal Haftar, what 3G just made a mention. Interestingly, if you see onto the top right corner, you have Benghazi, and onto the left side, you have Tripoli. So Tripoli is the official capital of Libya, and Benghazi is the place where the mission of US was bombarded. The orange, is it orange or dark cream, whatever color you want. This color is the area which has been given significance and approval by the UN. So UN has recognized this part of Libya as the official Libyan entity. The green color is the rebel, the Libyan National Army, and Mr. Haftar is ruling this area. Let me just upload another map with you so that you can understand as to how things were moving in Libya at that point of time. So we come to a slightly recent map and which has been uploaded. Yes. Now this is the situation as we stay in 2020. This is one of the most recent maps which we can draw. Benghazi onto the right hand side, Tripoli, it is being governed by the UN-backed government and allied militias. But they have the recognition. The prime minister of this area is the official prime minister of Libya. And that is the significance. So Libyan National Army, which is being ruled by Haftar, he is ruling over the yellowish colored portion. There is another important picture that I would like to upload, and which is here. So if you, yeah, so this is Recep Tayyip Erdogan. You know him very well. Turkey is Khalifa, I mean to say the Khalifa of the Muslim Ummah and leader of Turkey, shaking hands with a gentleman. And this gentleman is the prime minister of the UN-backed Libya. So Libya has got good relations with Turkey, the western portion, which is recognized by the UN. And along with Libya, Qatar, Italy, all these countries, they were also supporting this part of Libya. Now here he's shaking hands with Mr. Erdogan. This is in the year 2019. What happens is that they sign a deal where some economic zone is divided amongst themselves and Italy. So there is a sea lane which is created, and the aim is to transport oil and gas to Turkey from Libya. Interestingly, the control, the production of oil and gas in Turkey rests with the eastern part, which is under Haftar. And Erdogan does not support Haftar. That is interesting. So the deal is signed, and things are moving smoothly between Turkey and the western Libyan portion. Now comes our friend General, no, not General, who's at Kheti Marshal. Kheti Marshal, yes. Asim Munir, he lands in Libya. And he signs the arms deal, of which Mr. Shri had made a mention. Around $4.7 billion, in which some JF-17 blunder planes were supposed to be given, some trainer aircrafts were also supposed to be given, some naval vessels were also supposed to be given, some training to be imparted. Because, you know, Libyan Air Force would be knowing how to fly the plane. But then how to take off will be shown by the Pakistanis. And then the Pakistanis training manual closes down. Because after flying the plane, they don't have any other chapter as to how to land the plane. And how to land the plane, they have got just one line: leave it to the Indians. So the Pakistanis don't have to land their fighter jets. It is left to the Indians because they are brought down by the Indians. So that is the fact. I'm so serious, Sriji.
Very tongue-in-cheek, Colonel.
So he signs a deal, and the Chief of Army Staff of Libya, that is the portion which has been recognized by the UN, and shaking hand with Turkey. He is returning along with a very high-powered delegation from, now he's the prime minister, but same scenario, Recep Tayyip Erdogan, Turkey. So the Chief of Army Staff of Western Libya, which is recognized by the UN, is returning from Turkey. And along with him, he has the Chief of Staff and I don't know how many senior officials of the Libyan army, not the Libyan National Army, but the Libyan army. And suddenly after takeoff, their plane mysteriously crashes. And Turkey wastes no time in saying that it was a technical snag and no foul play was noticed. No. Yeah, it came as a hurried communique. This thing has happened and there's no technical snag. There was a technical snag, no foul play. But in international geopolitics, there is no coincidence. 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 There is no coincidence Now, please take it in mind. What happens is Asim Munir is sitting in East Libya, shaking hands with Haftar. The plane which is coming from Turkey crashes. Now, the question comes, Sriji, is Asim Munir brokering a deal with Recep Tayyip Erdogan and making him shake hands with Haftar? Because all the resources lie in East Libya. And Recep Tayyip Erdogan does not have any other means to approach Haftar but Asim Munir. Now, Libya is under sanctions. You cannot export arms and ammunition to Libya. But Pakistan signs a deal with them. That means the great Uncle Sam, he has blessed Pakistan to take a step. Now comes the importance. Yes, please.
Colonel Saab, this
Yes.
guy,
Uh,
Kheti Marshal,
uh-huh.
Saddam Khalifa Haftar, is also
Mhm.
a citizen of United States. He has
Hmm.
lived in the US for 20 years. The interesting thing is he
Yes.
was with Gaddafi.
Mhm.
Let me put the map back a little bit later. He was
Mhm.
with Colonel Muammar Gaddafi
Gaddafi,
when
yes.
they brought down Al Idris, the king of Libya, and usurped
Libya.
power. Then, a few years later, there was a war against Chad, which was led by this Kheti Marshal. And they lost that, and he was taken prisoner. So 600, 700 people were taken prisoners. And after that, Gaddafi kind of said, "Hey, I don't know who you are." Interestingly, he links up with the people who bring down Gaddafi. And I think he was hoping that he would be made the next
Chief.
dictator. That
Yeah.
hasn't happened. And but now he's slowly but steadily usurping. This guy can speak Russian, he can speak English, he can speak French, he can speak Arabic. I guess I don't know what the Libyan language is. He probably can speak that also. Very interesting, colorful character, 82 years old, and looks like he has what matters in Libya. Sarji, this is one story. You finish the story and we'll go to the second, more juicier part. Over to you.
See, my aim is to put that juicy story into some perspective and to bring to the fore as to how this juicy marshal, I mean to say, what is it called? Field marshal. So, how is this juicy field marshal very important? So, people should understand why is he important for Libya? Why is he important for Turkey? Why is he important for the US? But he is now establishing his importance, but then this importance is very short lived. So, what happens is he signs this deal, and this is what is being understood in the world, that this man is brokering a peace deal between Recep Tayyip Erdogan and Haftar, and it will be done. No issues, because like a hot potato, the chief of the army staff of the western side of Libya has been dropped. His plane has mysteriously crashed. It happens in the world. If you are useless for somebody, you are then eliminated. No required.
Disposed.
Disposed. So people are disposable, governments are disposable. So we have been seeing how the governments are disposed, being disposable. So now we come to the US. So now something happens in the US. Now there's a car which is being driven by a lady, a 75-year-old lady who is specialized in pediatric emergency medication. So she has got a very, very specialized thing. And her name is, I think, Faizia or something like that. But
Yeah.
the credentials become slightly interesting because she is daughter of a very illustrious father. Her father was Air Marshal in the Pakistani Air Force, and his name was Air Marshal Noor Khan, after whom the famous oblique infamous Noor Khan Air Base is named. This is the same air base which was pleasantly destroyed by the Indian forces. And because of this destruction, lot many people sitting in Sriji's country felt uneasy, because probably he had paid taxes to make certain things under the airfield, which was very, very important. But the Pakistanis hurriedly came there with bulldozers and they leveled the entire area. So nobody knows as to what lies beneath. That's a very interesting
Who
movie you
died?
should.
Who died beneath too?
Yeah. So what lies beneath is a mystery until somebody finds out, and it will be found out. There is no doubt about it. So Miss Fezia, Dr. Fezzi, or whatever his name is, she dies in a car crash. And a car is moving on the highway and it veers on to the right hand side, loses control, and it catches fire. Now, such type of incidents are not very common, especially in the American scenario if you speak of. But where does the importance lie? That is she a conduit who is passing the secrets of JF-17 blunder from Pakistan to the US? Sriji?
Well, that is the see
That
that
is
is
the
the question.
huh.
So Sarji, so some of the things somebody is poking fun at me that they don't
Hmm.
know what is the
Hmm.
language spoken in Libya. I don't have to know what language is spoken in Libya.
No, no,
Sorry,
no.
uh,
This is the best language. Every,
oil and dollar.
everybody understands this language.
Yeah, so it's okay. There will be always this kind of tin pots that will come in and start try to make noise. I do read it because if somebody useful is if something is useful, we can make this thing more enriching. So here is the story. Sarji, this came on social media. I
Yeah.
have not been able to validate it. So I have to tell you all these things because I have not been able to confirm it. But it did come in the social media that this lady was in possession of the JF-17 secret drawings,
Yeah.
details, whatever. And that it was the MSS, which is the Secret Service of China. By the way,
Hmm.
viewers, many of you may think Mossad is the most powerful organization, Secret Service organization. It is not. MSS is the most powerful Secret Service organization. These guys have spread all over the world, including United States. They have police stations in United States. Did you know that? China has police
Canada
stations
also. Canada
in
also.
all countries, 109 or something last count, and they still keep growing. It took a long time for New York City to locate where the Chinese police station there was. They have found it in LA, they have found it in San Francisco, but it took a long time for New Yorkers to find out where the Chinese police station is. What these Chinese police stations do, they keep track on Chinese citizens working in various places. They make sure that, when they say jump, these people ask how high. Espionage, stealing stuff or buying stuff, Benami, standing Benami. This has become commonplace now, Colonel Saab. In some of the higher end localities in Silicon Valley, houses go for 5 million, 4 million, something in that ballpark. If you look at last 5-10 years, Colonel Saab, last 10 years, who is the buyer? Chinese. Or sometimes, rarely, other countries, but all from Far East. All from there. So I wonder who buys it and who comes and stays there. See, because I go around in my neighborhood also, I find suddenly somebody very good looking, they'll always have this decorative pony type puppies, I don't know if you're Pomeranian types, rich kid, rich looking puppies. Each one will be running in one direction, that sort of stuff. And I always wonder, ye kahan se aa gaye? Kab aaye? So this is general, okay? I'm not blaming anyone. This is happening quite frequently in the United States now. I don't know where this is going to stop, but we are awaiting information whether that is indeed true, that MSS was worried that some of their secrets were going to be given to the United States. We don't want to cast aspersions on a 75-year-old pediatrician who is supposed to be quite good at what she does. This is just a rumor floating around. But you look at all the things, either this guy deleted, that person deleted, something is going on. Something is going on. And there are some dots there. We're trying to connect it. Sarji, I yield the floor to you. You can give us what you read about this situation.
Sriji, let me share with your viewers that a secret agency which has got its footprints or names printed everywhere is no secret agency. A secret agency who does everything and remains secretive is a secret agency. So MSS, people would have not heard of it. Raw, because it has so much in picture, people start shouting everything and blaming it on Raw. But you won't find any Raw office or Raw worker. Mossad, yes, you will find, okay, there's a Mossad print there, but a secret agency which is not visible is the right secret agency. So what CG was trying to hint was that, is MSS responsible for this car moving onto the right hand side? Because you are trying to pass on some information which is very secretly held by one nation, and that nation is now passing that information to a third party, which is a rival in the world. So interesting times ahead for Pakistan. That is what I presume. If in case this thing finds its right place, Kheti Marshal is in deep, deep trouble. This is what I
Yes,
can
indeed.
presume.
Yes, indeed. And it
And
also tells you. So go ahead, sir. I thought you were
yeah.
talking. You're
And
done.
the
Go ahead.
interesting part is that this time, if you notice the Indian media, you will find that a lieutenant general ranking officer, he says that 942 square kilometers of land India has a sort of reclaimed from the Chinese. We are now patrolling that area which was once claimed that it was the Chinese territory and we had left it. So this is the first time in history that we are hearing that we have reclaimed land and we are now patrolling. It was a core commander level talks which happened between India and China, where this piece of land they have agreed that it will be patrolled. Now it will be patrolled by both the parties. So, okay, both the parties probably have said that it remains a disputed land, but then both will patrol and they will inform. The Indian side will inform the Chinese side that, okay, our patrol is moving from this time to this time and from this place to this place. So, this is the agreement which has been reached by India and China. But we have made sounds about the Shaksgam Valley also. If you recollect, the spokesperson of the MEA had made it very clear that Shaksgam Valley, it belongs to India and we don't recognize the existence of the CPEC. So you have Pakistanis passing on allegedly secrets of the JF-17 blunder plane to the US and caught. And India saying that Shaksgam Valley is ours and that we are now patrolling the areas which the Chinese said that they were there. So interesting times ahead for China also. Yes, Riji.
Colonel C. See, people refer to Pakistan as Hira Mandi. Those of
Hmm.
you who understand why Hira Mandi, there's a movie called Hira Mandi, based in Lahore, set in Lahore in the 1920s. It's a escort house, brothel house, whatever you want to call it. I just saw the first 15-20 minutes. I got bored. I said, okay, now I understand the connection. Now, if Pakistan does what it has been alleged to have done, basically they are living up to their name, Sarji.
They have been doing it for quite some time. And that is how the Shaskam Valley has gone to China. They brokered. They sold that piece of land to China. Maybe
They
for a
owe
few pennies.
29 billion. This is
Yeah.
not interest. I mean, this is not
Sorry.
include. This is principal. They are not even
Yeah.
able to pay the interest on that. 29
Exactly.
billion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It is much, much more. CPEC itself is 66 billion. So
Yeah,
they
but
have
I
a lot.
don't think they did the whole thing, right? They did not
No,
do it. They didn't bring it into the plains.
no, no, no. So, but then Pakistan has got a lot to pay to Saudi Arabia, to the US, to Qatar, to Oman, to UAE. They have got lots and lots of to pay. So, how do they pay? They pay in kind. And how do they pay in kind is they send their security forces there, known as the security guards from Pakistan. That's how they pay in kind. So, they have been told that, okay, please keep your forces ready. They have to go to Gaza because they are supposed to keep peace and be ready to fight with Hamas, whom they had actively trained when they were here.
The
So,
latest on that is Israel has rejected Pakistan's
yeah,
participation because they said
yes,
that they have Hamas links already. So they
yeah,
said no Pakistani
no,
troops
no,
in Gaza. So
yeah,
that one is again that money making opportunity has gone up in smoke.
yeah.
So I'm
Really, I
I'm,
was
I'm
speaking.
wondering. Yeah,
Hmm,
go ahead, sir.
no, sorry, I was speaking to my Israeli friend. So he says that we have okayed Indonesia, and Turkey and Qatar we will allow only as supervisory staff, no boots on ground. So they have okayed Indonesia. They said Pakistanis, sorry, Pakistanis are nowhere in the thought. So it was the Pakistanis who were jumping that we will go to Gaza. The Israelis were very clear that they won't allow them, and they, in their calculations, Pakistan never existed. So they were very clear about it. So interesting. Yes, Siri, sorry, I had disrupted you.
No. Interesting times, and again, this thing will never really know if that was indeed the fact or not, because it's all intelligence wala stuff. So we will never know the real truth. But it looks very suspicious that this guy is now becoming almost. He has got all the places in Libya that matter, the oil fields. This Saddam Haftar, he has control of that, and that means that de facto he is the ruler of Libya. Interesting times ahead. He's also a citizen of United States. They are supposed to have elections soon, and he said that he will give up his US citizenship and then contest for elections. And that's an interesting observation. Why can't they just have this constitution pass? Okay, multiple citizenships is allowed. Make it easy, because it tells you that somewhere there is some other new equation being formed with Libya. US has its fingers in it, as always, and I wonder what Pakistan is doing in this, other than selling this Chinese-made JF-17s as their own. Sarji, do you think that they would have done, maybe they would have bought the paint from China and then they painted something and then sold it off as theirs?
Yeah, maybe they applied some grease to the vehicle which is servicing the aircraft. Not on because I don't think the Chinese will allow them to touch the aircraft. So paint also, I am very doubtful. They will not approve of that, because the paint is the crucial thing in an aircraft. You have to be 100% sure when you are painting an aircraft. So I don't think they will entrust Pakistani with the paint also. Probably the ground handling staff, they handle some vehicles. So those vehicles will be greased by the Pakistanis at best. That is my presumption. But yes, it's a matter of concern. And once we start adding the dots, we find that the Chinese might be losing some secrets to the Americans, where they had to intervene directly. Yes, Vijay.
Yes, indeed. And viewers, when a car goes and crashes against a sidewall, the car will be totaled. It will not catch fire.
Where, yes.
See, for a tank of, how can it catch fire if the petrol in the tank, catches fire? You see, inside the petrol tank, there is no oxygen, so it can never catch fire. It has to come out and be in contact outside. Unless you doused it all or you set off a blast, like for example, if something went off inside the car, she loses control and she just goes and hits on the barrier. MSS goes behind her, quietly goes and takes away all the incriminating stuff, and then all is well. Or they just say, bach gaya sala, and they'll go about again. So a very interesting thing going. This whole thing is whole shady. China wants to not be accused of selling arms to a banned country. So that is in front of USA. They want to make all this, make believe stuff. But the guy who's buying is a US citizen. I mean, this jigsaw puzzle doesn't cease to amaze me. This is like, what the hell is going on? What exactly is really going on?
Pakistan are used to stealing. If you remember, there was a scientist by the name of Abdul Qadir Khan. There used to be a country by the name of Holland. So when Netherlands was Holland, Abdul Qadir Khan was working with the centrifuge there, and he was copying the designs. So they are known for all these stuffs. So all the teas are produced by the Pakistanis, the terrorists, and the other are thieves. Thugs they are, but thugs, thieves, and terrorists are all produced by the Pakistanis. So they are correct to the T. Yes, Vijay.
Thank you so much. We have a few questions from our viewers for you, Colonel Saab. Magnet Ranga wants to know, Op Sindoor proved that Chinese arms weren't as good as believed. Why is the world buying such arms? I do believe that beside the equipment of our forces were far superior and committed?
See, first of all, economics plays a very big role. If you're getting a rifle for 10 rupees and if you find a rifle for 2 rupees, you say, okay, let us give it a try. Maybe the Pakistanis were at fault. So you go in for that cheap rifle. And if you recall, the Chinese, they are known to give you substandard goods at a very cheap rate. Secondly, the countries which have which owe something to the Chinese in turn, what they do is they push down their defense equipment down their throat. This
Yeah.
also happens. So that's how
Bangladesh
you.
is also another example.
So that's how the Chinese stuff reaches the market, despite being inferior or of substandard quality. G.
Next question. Shiva wants to know if Iran regime change is going to happen, will Pakistan be more civilized than current situation?
Iran regime change, of course, the heat is on. The only issue that is worrying is that they don't have a leadership. Now, the people who are leading this revolution are a younger lot who haven't seen the person whom a few of them want as a new leader. That is Reza Pahlavi. Reza Pahlavi, had left Iran to become a commercial pilot in the year 1978. In 1979, his father was removed from power and he had to run away to the US. So Reza Pahlavi has been staying in the US for all these years. So it is 26 plus 22 years. So most of the time of his life, he has been staying in the US. So he's not really conversant with the happenings and the mentality, the thought process, whatever you say of Iran. Of course, he has got a strong legacy, his father being the ruler there, Shah Reza Pahlavi. He married off his daughter in Paris. She married a Jew. That is another part of the story, which we can discuss some other day. So, but then people are chanting his name. They want him to be there. So, if he comes to power, will there be stability? Sorry, an unstable Iran will help everybody. So, I really doubt whether stability can come to Iran soon. Iran might remain unstable because an unstable Iran becomes a very potent threat and a very good, lucrative market for the American arms.
Yes, indeed. And that brings us to a close of today's program. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. This was coming live on two channels, Rann-Neeti as well as P Guru's channel. And wherever you are watching, please do subscribe to that channel. Thank you so much, Kanal Saab. We'll see you again next Tuesday, same time in Hindi. Namaskar.
Namaskar, Sriji. Jai Hind.
Jai Hind.